Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you guys are staying healthy, staying happy, staying motivated. It's a beautiful day here in sunny Florida. We're in the beautiful city of Davie, Florida, located in Broward County. I'm actually in a nature walk. Let me show you our views for today. Very peaceful, very quiet, exactly like the vibe that I like. So yeah, guys, so let's get right into it. Let's talk about realtors and agents, brokers, and everybody that's involved in real estate, and how the market's affecting realtors right now. Now, I know a lot of you have your opinions on realtors. And by the way, I am a licensed and insured realtor. If you're looking to buy, you're looking to sell, you need a property manager. My name is Joel Vargas, 305-988-2230, and I would love to work with you. So let's get right into it. So obviously, it's a little funny of me even saying that, right? We're talking about realtors and how the economy is affecting real estate. So something I want to kind of talk about real quick. I know that a lot of realtors, they get a bad rap, and just in general, there are a lot of people who have had bad experiences with realtors, and understandably, right? I mean, unfortunately, there are agents in this real estate game and in any industry really that that aren't very professional, right? I mean, I've done real estate for about 10 years. I work with people who are very professional to people who are not so much. And it really ranges, right, guys? I mean, you have realtors that are really bad at their jobs. You have realtors that are really good at their jobs. I pride myself in being one of the best realtors. This is what I do full time. If you guys follow me on social media, Instagram, my YouTube, TikTok, any of my social medias, you guys will see that I'm constantly being active in the real estate industry and the real estate profession. I love what I do. But unfortunately, guys, or fortunately, maybe, right? There are going to be a lot of realtors that are going to be out of a job very soon. I have some statistics here that I want to share with you guys. In 2023, there were 440,000 full-time realtors. I'm not saying licensed, but full-time realtors. These are just estimates. In 2022, the year before that, there were 70,000 more full-time realtors. So you're looking at about, give or take, 520,000 full-time realtors in 2022. In 2024, this year, we're obviously going to have less than that. There's a lot of realtors that are getting out of the business. There are some big changes coming in July that is going to affect agents and the real estate as far as commission goes. But it's predicted that as much as 80% of realtors are going to lose their jobs. I mean, I know some of you are happy to hear that, and some of you rejoice and are joyful of that. But I'm in this business, right? I don't want to lose my job, guys. I love what I do. This business has provided me opportunities that really no other business would. I earn my money. I work very hard. Some people are under the impression that when you're under contract or you're selling something, that it's easy. Guys, I have never had one single transaction in my life that has been, let's say, quote unquote, an easy transaction. All my transactions have their own problems, and not just one problem, several problems. It's never an easy thing to sell a home, to be very honest with you. Some of you are on the impression that, oh, it's just put on the market. People, like, it's not so simple, guys. There's a lot of variables. There's a lot of personalities. There's a lot of unknowns that happen in real estate, and it's very common for deals to not go through. It's very common for people to back out. It's very common for people to change their mind. It's very common for a deal to fall through. Remember, guys, realtors only get paid when they sell a home. I don't get paid for non-performance. If the home doesn't sell, and I've done 98% of the work, and they back out, one of the clients backs out, say a buyer backs out, or the seller, I don't get none of that back, guys. So, and what I say is this: realtors is an AKA name. Realtors is an also known as name. Why do I say that? Excuse my hair. Why do I say that? Because I am more of a problem solver. I am a problem solver. I get paid to solve problems. But I'm also known as AKA a realtor. And why do I say that I'm a problem solver? Well, because of my time, my tenure, my experience, I have certain contacts that allow me to get things done more easily. I have contacts in different industries that obviously they all have to do with homes, But what makes me valuable is what I bring to the table. And when you're working with a realtor, guys, I'll give you a good example here. Sometimes when I go travel, I have 3 beautiful dogs. But when I go travel, I need somebody to take care of them, right? And the person that takes care of my dog, she actually lives in the same building. I live in a condo in Davie. She lives in the same building, and every time I travel with my dogs, every time I travel and I leave my dogs with her, she's always complaining. The reason I'm even bringing this up is because of this. In real estate, right, I don't go to my clients and be like, oh, this is so hard, or, oh, oh man, I gotta do this now, or, oh, you need me to move the stove because of this reason, or you need me to set this up this way because of, like, I don't complain, because I get paid to perform, you know? And it goes to show you that in all professions, even a dog sitter, guys, something so, hey, no disrespect to dog sitter, that's a great business. And there's people that genuinely do it because they love doing it, they make good money. But something as simple as dog sitting, you know, and an easy dog where it's not aggressive, like, people complain and this and that. And why do I say this? Because when people hire me to sell their home, or they hire me to help them buy a home, guys, they pay for performance. They pay for performance, and they pay me to get the job done. That's why I say I'm a problem solver more than I'm a realtor, because any issues they have, the problem gets solved. It's literally a phone call or a text. Hey, I need this, this, and this done. I say, no problem. I'll get it done by tomorrow. It's simple, guys. It's simple, and I deal with problems every time I do a transaction. And the reason I'm even saying this is because a lot of people, buyers and sellers, think that realtors are no good or we're not worth our money. And something I want to take, I completely disagree with that. I completely disagree with that. Now, do I think that when buying or selling, it should be in the best interest of the client? Yeah, 100%, 110%. But to sit here and say realtors aren't worth 3% or 2.5% is honestly, it's dumb and it's ridiculous. I'm gonna give you another reason why I think that. When you use a lawyer, right? Again, you pay for performance. When you use a lawyer, you know how much money a lawyer usually keeps from a settlement or a lawsuit? You guys know? Some of you know, some of you don't know. They keep 33%. They keep a third of what you make. Meaning, let's be clear here. We're speaking in facts at this point. We're not speaking and I think or I know, no. I'm going to speak from experience and facts. If there is a lawsuit for $100,000 and it settles for $100,000 and you get paid, and you as a client gets paid $100,000, your lawyer, if you use a lawyer, is going to keep 33% of $100,000. So that means that they're going to make 33.33, let's just say they're going to make $33,000 off of a $100,000 settlement. So put that in perspective for you guys, just so you guys know, just so we're clear. And right, where are the arms being raised for the lawyers? Oh, well, what is it? You're paying for performance. They provided a service. They did it in a professional manner. They got it done in the timeliest and most efficient way. Yeah, they practice more law than realtors, of course. They're lawyers, but realtors also practice law. We have to know what we're doing, timelines, all these things, right? Problem solving, timelines, personalities, whatever the buyer needs done or the seller needs done, it has to get done. So why is it okay that a lawyer keeps a third of what you make? So to put this in perspective, right? $100,000 settlement will get the lawyer $33,000. Did you know for a realtor to make $33,000, this is just an estimate, that realtor has to sell a home at around a little over $1 million to make about, let's say it's at 3% they make, they got to sell a home at $1 million to make, a little over $1 million to make $33,000. But yet a lawyer does a transaction where the value of the transaction is about, it's about $100,000. It's way less than the transaction of a home, but they're keeping double or triple the amount of money. Right? No, I mean, and this is almost always, guys. This is almost always. Let's say the transaction, let's say a settlement, or more realistic settlement comes out to being, let's say a realistic settlement comes out to being, let's say $20,000 to $30,000. Let's say it's $30,000. They're gonna keep a third of that. What does that equate to? What is that? They're gonna make $10,000 off a $30,000 settlement because they keep a third. They keep 33%, right? And they're making, and a $30,000 settlement, which is a realistic settlement that happens every day here, especially in South Florida. They're keeping $10,000. For a realtor to make $10,000, they pretty much have to sell a home that's valued right around $400,000. They gotta have a transaction that is literally over 10 times the amount. So why am I talking about this? Because why don't people complain about what lawyers do? There's lawyers that are horrible at their jobs. There's lawyers that are not timely, that are not efficient. They don't treat you with any type of respect because they just want to get paid. Why is it okay for them to get paid? And I want to hear your comments. I genuinely want to hear the kickback in the argument. Why you think they deserve, and they do pretty much probably half of what a professional realtor does. They do the same thing over and over again. Every transaction I've done is not the same. It's always different. It's always different problems and issues that somebody has to account for. So why is it? And I want to get your kickback. I want to get your kickback. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because, you know what, guys? There are realtors that aren't worth a freaking penny. There are realtors who are terrible at their job. They shouldn't even be getting paid. But there are realtors that when you hire them, they perform the best and they do the job to the best of their ability, and they get you results. I'm going to give you an example. I have a house here listed in South Florida, right? Listed in South Florida, and it's a nice house, right? But to get to the point, I listed it so that we can get a bidding war going on with the house. What do I mean by that? I knew the house is worth X, but I listed it under X so that our final purchase price can be over X, can be the highest home sold on the market. Mind you, we got to do the appraisal, we got to do all that. But there are certain contingencies where that protect my client, the seller, so they can get top dollar for the home. I'm not going to get into the contingencies or what it is I do exactly. That's my secret, and for you to never find out. But long story short, guys, that home was on the market for about a week. We got a contract within 4 days of the home being listed. It was marketed correctly. It was priced correctly. And again, this is what the sellers are paying me for. They're paying me for my performance. They're paying me for my experience. They're paying me for my knowledge. I know the market of where that home is listed. Why and how? Because I work in that market every single day. Why are you going to pay somebody? Again, there's realtors that are new, and no disrespect to new realtors. There are people that are really hustling, really grinding to get their money. But you're not going to, you pay for performance. 2.5%, 3% is nothing, guys. People are in arms. Oh, they make $5,000, $10,000. Yeah, so what? 3%? Think of what you guys are saying. 3% is nothing in any transaction, but you're willing to pay a lawyer 33%. Make it make sense, guys. Make it make sense. Now, I know it's not the same thing apples to apples, but is what a lawyer does really worth 10 times the amount of value? Their transactions are way less than real estate transactions, but they get 10 times more. They make way more than realtors make. And I don't hear anything about lawyers and their fees. It has to make sense, guys. And I want to hear what you guys have to say about this, So, listen, if somebody doesn't see my value as a realtor, doesn't see you as a value in what you do, you dictate your value. I love what I do. You're going to get the best realtor when you hire me. You're going to get the best performance. You're going to get a knowledgeable and experienced person. You're going to get a person that has many contacts. You're going to get a problem solver that you're going to get things. I'm going to get things done, right? My client is the most important part of any business. My clients are the most important part of my business. And I make sure that when my clients work with me, they understand that. They understand that they're dealing with a transparent, honest person. And I don't like to beat around the bush like, I honestly think realtors should get paid a little more than 3%. They should get paid 4 to 5%. Why not? And a lot of people want to disagree with that. Say, no, I said, you know what I got to say about that? Shut up. Be quiet. Go work in what you do. Let me do what I do, right? You don't dictate my value, and I don't dictate your value. I dictate my value, and you dictate your own value. If you want to charge $100, you do what you feel. Now, do I say that in a cocky and arrogant way? Yeah, somewhat. With all that being said, I'm also aware and conscious that I also need to adapt. I can't stick to my ways for the rest of my life. The economy changes, things change. And I myself have to adapt. And if I'm not willing to adapt, I'm gonna fail. You know, I'm not gonna be able to succeed in the life. I'm not gonna be able to create the life that I want. So I myself, being with all that being said, right, that I'm worth what I get paid, I also need to be willing to learn, willing to adapt in different scenarios. Now, another outlet, there are some realtors who do rentals, and this, guys, I have so much experience with rentals. And this is, I'm gonna just say this, and I don't mean any type of way, guys. I stopped doing rentals. The reason being is you work 10 times harder for 10 times less the amount of money. But that's not the main reason. That's not the main reason. When you're in real estate, you better understand that you're gonna work. So the work isn't the problem. The money could be a little better, but it's not terrible. Like you can get by doing a couple rentals a month. I'm not disagreeing with that. But this is why I stopped doing rentals. I've probably done in my life, I don't know, I wouldn't say anywhere. I've probably done, I don't know the exact number, but let's just call it, keep it simple. I've probably done about 100 rentals in the lifetime in about 10 to 12 years of real estate, right? And 9 out of 10 times, and this is not to bash anybody, I'm just talking from my experience, 9 out of 10 times the people that rent, they usually don't have good credit. That's usually the typical case. They all have subpar credit meaning under 650. They have a ton of debt. And a lot of times when I've worked with rentals, a lot of renters don't give their realtor the whole picture of their scenario. And the reason they do this is because some people they think they're gonna get judged, or if you owe money or you owe child support. I've had experiences, guys, where we get under contract and my client would tell me, yeah, my credit is bad because I owe medical bills, but then they run a credit check and then the owner finds out that they're like $30,000 in debt in child support. And again, these things you can work around it, but you got to be truthful about these things, because if the owner realizes that you have all this debt and you're not being truthful, you think they want to rent to an untruthful tenant? They don't want to deal with people. I wouldn't want to deal with people like that. And I've come to my experience, guys, that renters usually have subpar credit. They have terrible credit. They usually have a lot of debt. And then really, to be honest with you, and this is not everybody that rents. There's some people that are great renters, great tenants, and you know, they're people that you want to work with. But 9 out of 10 times, guys, people that rent, again, this is not bashing all renters. I'm talking from my experiences. They are some of the most difficult people to work with, because I honestly don't know why. I don't know why. I can't tell you why that is. But the last rental I did was about a month and a half ago. And it got to a point that I was going to be above and beyond for my client. I mean, literally, I'm not going to get into details of what I was doing. But I was doing stuff that in a rental, the realtor doesn't ever do it, doesn't have to do it. But I went above and beyond. And it got to a point that my client felt that they could talk to me in a certain way, and felt that they felt that this was all an included thing, and little did they know, I did my job, and then when they moved in, they got their place. Mind you, we're talking about someone who has no credit, literally no credit. They had a business where they were making some decent money, but there was no, you know, the client would tell me he's making $20,000, $30,000 for each project he's doing, but there's no bank account showing over 100,000. Like, it was all these little things I had to overcome, and this took months, guys, for me to find them a place. I found them a place, and when he moved in, there were certain issues with it, and my client started getting frustrated and pissed off at me for the issues that the landlord had to remedy, but he was taking out his frustration on me. I'm not the landlord, nor was I the property manager. I am limited to what I can do to fix an apartment or a condo. It's not my property, and it's not my property, nor is it my responsibility to fix any issues the landlord has to fix, right? But anyway, the guy got kind of stupid with me and started hanging up the phone on me. And you know what I do, guys, when somebody gets like that with me in any business? What I love about my business is that I can tell I don't ever get disrespectful. If I feel that a relationship isn't working for me, or I'm not being valued, I simply don't work with you. No hard feelings. We go our separate ways. And anyway, this client, he got his place. After he was very underqualified, there was a lot of issues, a lot of red flags. He got his place and starts treating me a certain way because the landlord wasn't upholding his end of the deal, and he needed to fix certain things, which they were trying to fix. But it was all this whole thing, guys. I'm not getting into details, but it was this whole thing. And anyway, long story short, the tenant, my client, was just being difficult, you know. He was being difficult, he was being impatient, he was being rude, he was being disrespectful. And I always say this when I do rentals, guys. Man, why do I get into doing rentals? I generally don't like doing rentals. The people that I work with are usually, it's not that they're bad people, they're just very difficult to work with. They usually don't have the 3 months deposit, first, last month security. And on top of that, you know, like, you know, it's all these little things. You know, their personality is difficult. They don't have credit. They usually don't have money. And you're trying to perform a miracle, and people rely on you and expect you as a realtor to do a miracle. Guys, I'm a problem solver, AKA a realtor. I'm not a miracle worker. Sometimes things happen, like with this last client that we really got lucky. You know, we really got lucky. It was being the perfect time and place. But guys, anybody else that comes to me, honestly, and they tell me I have no credit, I can't really prove the money I make, I'm not gonna work with them. And honestly, guys, if somebody wants to do a rental with me, you need to be you need to have a certain credit to work with me. You need to have a certain amount of money to work with me, because it's not that I don't want to work hard, guys. I work smart. And the thing is, if the person is relying on me to get them a place and I can't get them a place because of their situation, they start putting the blame on me. Now I become responsible and liable for their issues. And that's why with rentals, guys, I really stay away from them. You can make some decent money in rentals, but it's not the part of the business where I like doing it. And I've done so much of them. I've done so much of them, all kinds of situations. Bad credit, mediocre credit, great credit. Great credit has been maybe 2 clients out of all the transactions I've done. But yeah, guys, I know I went on a little rant there, but you know, there's a lot of realtors that are gonna lose their jobs, and they deserve to lose their jobs. But there are great realtors, guys, who are gonna be put in a position of difficulty, and they're gonna be forced to adapt. Like myself, I have to adapt. I have to change. I'm not here sitting on a golden throne doing all these transactions every day. No, I gotta go look for it. I gotta actively work every day. I have to make ads. I have to create content. I have to provide my value. And when somebody wants to pay me 1% of a transaction, I won't accept it. I won't accept it. I have my threshold of what I'm willing to do, what I'm willing to accept. I am negotiable. I'm not a hard person. I'm not a hard ball, like, oh, you have to pay this. No, but I have a little bit of wiggle room, yeah, which is fine. I mean, any businessman should have wiggle room, but I'm not gonna let anybody determine my value. I determine my value. That home that I mentioned earlier, that I said that we got listed in under a week, the seller wanted to pay me some crazy number, and I straight up told him no. I told him no, and I gave him the reasons why that I'm worth more than that. And what do? They ended up paying me what it is I fought for, what it is I wanted them to pay me, you know, because I am valuable. You deal with a lot of stuff here in real estate, and if somebody doesn't believe your value, guys, they won't pay you. And again, I know some of you guys are happy or not happy about realtors losing their jobs, and you guys think they should make whatever amount of money, this crazy low money. But I disagree with that. You know, I disagree with that. We can agree to disagree. And at the end of the day, like I said, guys, you gotta adapt. You gotta be willing to change, willing to do things that are a little different to make sure you survive. It's all about survival here. I only make money when I close a deal. I don't make money in any other situation. And because of the rentals being that the clients are so, they're just not and again, this is not all renters, but in my experience, it's just not worth the headache, not worth the time. It's not worth the money. That deal I just told you about that I did in rent, so I got paid, but I had to deal with so much BS after that I probably won't ever work with that client again. If they contact me to buy a home, yeah, but if they contact me to rent, I just strictly tell them, hey, I don't do rentals anymore, you know? So, but anyway, guys, I know it was a lot of rant. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really want to hear your feedback in the comments below. I know a lot of you disagree. Maybe some of you agree with me. Let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Genuinely, let's have a conversation, have a discussion. I take good criticism and bad criticism. I just appreciate you guys watching these videos. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I make content every day, guys. I show homes and condos and townhomes and villas every single day. If you guys follow me on Instagram, it's at the Joel Vargas. My TikTok, I'm performing. This is what I do every day, guys, and I want to be able to survive. I want to be able to provide a business where my clients are happy and that they love what I do, because I genuinely love what I do. With that being said, my name is Joel Vargas, 305-988-2230. If you're looking to buy, you're looking to sell, and you're a property manager, I would love to work with you guys. If you guys have any questions, comments, let me know. All right, guys, stay healthy, stay happy, stay motivated. Have a great day.